So a couple of weeks ago, I showed you guys how to make a whole loaf of low-carb keto white bread. And while that recipe is absolutely delicious, it does require quite a bit of work. So I wanted to show you a super easy and quick way to make keto bread, like 2-minute quick way to make bread, just in case you don't have enough time or you don't want to go through the whole hassle of making a whole loaf of bread. So with that being said, let's get started and I'll show you my 2-minute keto bread recipe. All right, so first things first, you'll want to get out your food scale because we're going to be weighing these ingredients out to the gram, and you're also going to want to get out a medium-sized bowl. So when you've got both of those out, the next thing is just getting out the ingredients. And the base of our keto bread recipe today is blanched almond flour. I've recently switched to using Kirkland's blanched almond flour because it has the lowest net carbs I've ever seen for almond flour. For 30 grams, it only has 2 net carbs, which is way less than the Bob's Red Mill. And also this Kirkland's almond flour is much cheaper than the Bob's Red Mill as well. Anyways, for today's keto bread recipe, you'll want to add 4 tablespoons or 56 grams of that blanched almond flour to your bowl. And then once you've added the almond flour, the next thing you'll want to add is some unflavored whey protein powder. Today I'm using the unflavored whey from Isopure. I really like this stuff because it bakes extremely well and it has 0 carbs. A lot of times you can replace a little bit of the flour of a recipe with unflavored whey and it reduces the carb count of a recipe. So with that being said, for today's keto bread recipe, I'm going to add a half a scoop or 15 grams of that to the bowl. I'm also going to sweeten the keto bread up just a little bit without adding any carbs by using a half a teaspoon of confectioner's erythritol. We also want the bread to rise a little bit, so we're going to add a heaping half teaspoon of baking powder, as well as a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. And then last but not least, we're going to add 70 grams of water to the mix. So now at this point, you want to mix all those ingredients until a thick batter starts to form in the bowl. Once that batter does form and all the ingredients dissolve into one another, that's when you want to get out a 3-cup Tupperware container because it kind of looks like a slice of bread when you think about it, the base of the container anyways. And then at this point, you want to generously coat it with baking spray, add the batter to the container, and then evenly spread it out with a spatula. So now at this point, our keto bread is ready to go in the microwave, and all microwaves have different power levels. My microwave is a 700-watt microwave, which is really weak. So in my microwave, the keto bread takes 2 minutes to cook, but your microwave is probably more powerful than mine and will most likely take less time to cook. Anyways, once the bread is done cooking, it's going to end up looking something like this. And at this point, you want to take it out of the container, transfer it to a cutting board, and use a bread knife to cut it in half. By the way, this is what the inside of the 2-minute bread looks like. It's absolutely spot on white bread consistency. I also like to cut these halves in half just to make 4 slices of keto bread. This way, each slice only has 1 net carb. Also, this keto bread toasts incredibly well, so that's what I usually do with it. And then check this out. This is what the toast ends up looking like. How good does that look? So good, right? I hope you guys enjoyed the bread. If you want more information about it, there's more info in the video description below. Enjoy, guys.